Hello and welcome to Knit Cheek. My name is Natalie and I am the cheek behind Knit Cheek, and today we are on the floor because we're going to do a whip audit. If you've seen my organization video, you know that I keep all of my works in progress in a basket in my living room. So this is my TV console. My TV is right above me and I do a lot of knitting in the living room. This is my whip basket and I currently really don't have a lot going on knitting wise. I have kind of finished all my projects. I don't have anything else to knit really. So I was in my yarn closet looking at all my stash and trying to decide what should I knit, what should I do. And I thought, you know what I should do? I know that there are 2 whips in here that have been hibernating since last year. Let's go through my whip basket and find those hibernating whips and let's finish them. Let's do it. We now are to my 2 whips at the very bottom of this basket that literally only has 3 empty bags in it right now, plus the 2 whips. Okay, so this is my Barbara Shawl, and I have definitely talked about this on the channel. I have not worked on it. I think I put this progress keeper on like my first knitting update of the year, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this there and I'm going to work on it. It's April. You can see I did a row. So I would really like to finish this. I have 3 balls of this yarn. I used 1 and I have 2 left. So this should be a relatively quick project. Like, it's not going to take me days to do this. Well, it will take me days, but it's not going to take me a long time to do this. So I think this is where I'm going to start. It's an easy pattern, but for some reason, for the life of me, I've said this before, I cannot memorize the pattern. So it's something that I always have to reference. So it's not like my favorite portable pattern, but I'd like to sit down today for like 30, 45 minutes, maybe watch a podcast and see if I can memorize it, but also get some work on this done today. I do have a lot of things I have going on today. I have an orientation for a new job. I'm not really excited about that, but it's, life. I need to have an income. I have a lot to do today, but I think I can give myself 30 to 45 minutes to work on this one. I think I can allow that. Next, I have this project, which I think I put into hibernation during the fall of last year because it got too cold and I was like, meh. This is the Camisole number 4 by My Favorite Things, and it is knit in like the sample yarn, the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, which I forgot about. I am knitting it single. Yeah, it's just single. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I want this, so I want to finish this. I have no idea what I was doing. I'm going to crop it because I crop everything. I know I don't have a ton left. I mean, I do have a ton left. I still have, the body and some straps. I did a modification to where I'm not going to do I-cord straps for this because I don't like tiny little straps on knitwear. So I'm going to do like a thicker strap. It's spring here. It's warming up. I could totally use a tank. So those are my 2 projects front and center that I'm going to work on instead of casting on a new project. Random applause for me, like being such a good knitter. Okay, well, like I said, I have a lot of things to do today, but I'm going to give myself 45 minutes to sit here. I'm going to time myself. I'm going to watch a podcast, and I'm going to work on my Barbershaw. It has been a few days since I last checked up with y'all on my projects of finishing all of my languishing whips. We are clearing the needles. We are clearing the needles for summer knitting. So I am trying to get some projects done before then, and we are making some good progress. Okay, I took the progress keeper off of this, and I will tell you why. The last time I saw you, I was working where I had connected the second ball of yarn, so we're just gonna use that as the progress keeper. A lot has happened. It's been a week. I think the last time I checked in was Tuesday. I started a new job, and I'm not going to share what that is because I feel like I've shared where I live and it would just be too easy for people to figure out who I am and where I live. So I'm not going to share what I'm doing, but I just will say it's not something that I see myself doing. It's not a career choice for me. It's not something that I even enjoy doing. It's literally just something I am doing to pay the bills. I thought I would have more time to knit during this job, and I don't, which is okay. But like that was like what I was telling myself the whole time. It's like, okay, you're gonna have time to knit, downtime, and I don't, but it's all right. Yeah, so the week just flew by. I'm really, really glad that I decided to do this though. I'm really glad that I decided to sit down and to finish the projects that I already had on my needles instead of casting on new things. I've also done some reflecting. I've looked at my stash. I've looked at my queue. I've made sure that like I'm at a good place of not overwhelming or overdoing things, because I'm not somebody who has in the past had a large stash. So I want to make sure like that it's not ever at a point where it's unreasonable, like I can never finish it, you know, which is nowhere near that. I think I counted, I have like 12 projects and they're not even all like huge projects, so it's fine. Am I rambling? I feel like I'm all over the place. Okay, it's been a long time. I feel like I could sit here and I could chat for an hour, but I don't have an hour. I need to go. I need to go. I'll get to where I'm going in a second, but let's get back to the project, which is the Barbara Shawl, and how much progress I've made. So where you see that yarn connecting is where I was last time. I have gotten to the point of decreasing, and my decreases are already looking looser than my increases, which I'm trying to fix. So I weighed this to try to make sure that I stopped and started decreasing at like point of where I was through half my yarn with some wiggle room to protect myself, because lessons have been learned in the past. I actually knit too far, took my needles out, weighed the project. That's why I took the progress keeper off so I could get an exact weight. And I was like, okay, this weighs more than what I have left. So I ripped back to the point of like, it's a 12 row repeat. So where that would make sense. Weighed this, weighed what I had left. And I had a good like 5-6 grams extra and started decreasing. I really meant to check in more, but like I said, this week with the new job, and I guess that's really all that was new. Also, the weather has been all over the place. Yesterday I was in a wool sweater, and today I'm going to change into a short sleeve shirt. I'm probably red in the face from running around outside and it's warm. So this is where I'm at. Today I'm going to go back to the other house that we own that we have been renovating. I've talked about this on the channel before. We own another home that has 2 houses on it. We renovated one and rent that out, and now we're renovating the other one in hopes to rent it out soon. Which is another reason why I had to go get a job, because we needed money to finish it. I will be heading over there to help Mr. Cheek work on that, and I will be working on some of my knitting as well. I predict that this is going to fly off my needles now. So I talked about a lot on the podcast, like when I was knitting the first part of this with all the increases, there's a 12 row repeat. And I, again, for the life of me, could not memorize that 12 row repeat, and I tried and I just couldn't. But now that I'm decreasing, there's nothing that I need to know. I just decreasing and then just following the pattern of what I see. Knitting when there's knits, purling when there's purls. So it's like no big deal. I don't know how I'm going to style this. This is such an awkward size for a shawl. But if you follow Brooke Willow, she came out with like a bandana that she like wears around her head. And if you have been around for a while, you know that I am a huge fan of that. So I see myself doing that, and then just like bandana style. All right, bye. Okay, Mr. Cheek's in the shower, so I only have 10 minutes to film this, but I wanted to update y'all on how my progress is going with the Barbara Shawl, and it's not good. It's been probably a week since I last checked in, and that is because I cast on a new sweater. If you watched my summer knitting plans, I talk about that I'm going to frog. I haven't frogged it yet, but I'm going to frog my acorn pullover and start knitting the Ava cardigan. And I cast that on, and I'll show you a little sneak peek here. And it didn't go well. It didn't go well in the beginning because I had to rip it out because I've never done this type of construction before. And here's where I'm at. But I only want to knit this. You know how that is when you cast on something new, you just want to knit this. So this is it. This is all I have. I was like really determined to I had to frog a lot of it after I started, and I was really determined to like get to the point of where I was. And then I'm like really determined to finish my first ball of yarn so that I can say I'm as far as on this new project than I was my old acorn pullover project. Okay, let me put this away and let's talk about what this video is actually about. And that is my Barbara Shawl. And I've just been raw dogging this this is the Devon Bucket Bag. Oh my God, I can't say it. This is the Devon Bucket Bag by Portland Leather Goods. And I've just been raw dogging my shawl in here. I don't know, I have nothing else in here but that. And it's just a really nice bag to knit out of. It's probably my favorite. So here I am. I don't have a progress keeper because I forgot to put one in. But basically, in the beginning of this video, I had just started my second ball of yarn. And you can see that here by the ends. And I am almost finished with that second ball that just fell. And honestly, it's not even a ball anymore. It's just a little bit of yarn here. In the beginning of picking up this project again, I'm trying to use up all my yarn. So I knit to the point and then weighed it and then realized I had gotten too far with the grams that I had left. And then I ripped back. And now I feel like this second ball of yarn is just lasting for forever. And I think I'm well past the point of where I added. So I'm definitely going to have a little bit of extra, which is frustrating because I really didn't want extra. I don't know if I talked about this in this video, but I was considering purchasing more of this yarn to make this bigger because this is kind of like an awkward size for a shawl. But I did not want to do that because this yarn was expensive, and I didn't really realize it was expensive because it was back when I didn't really pay attention to grams, and so these were 50-gram skeins. And I bought 3 skeins of them thinking I could knit a vest, and then realized like it was only 150 grams, and I don't know who I was trying to kid there. So that's why I ended up with this like weird amount of yarn. Yeah, it's not a lot of yarn. So I'm making a 150-gram shawl basically, and this is the size that it's turning out to be. So basically my update is I'm almost done with my second ball of yarn, and I hope to, honestly, I don't see myself working on this weekend. This has turned into my like go-to project when I'm on the go. And I haven't allowed myself to cast on a new pair of socks, which I have not had a pair of socks on the needles since I started knitting socks last summer. I always have a pair of socks going. I really, really like that. Always a go-to project for me, and I love knitting socks. It's so therapeutic, and I just love it. So I'm like punishing myself almost, which I shouldn't do that, but this is like my sock replacement. I'm to the point though where I don't need to look at a pattern, I can just knit this, but it isn't as like mindless as a sock knitting in the round. Like you do have a pattern going on, but it's a relatively easy pattern. You would think that knitting 5, purling 1 would be really easy, but how often do I have to tink back and fix one? Pretty often. So that's where I'm at. I haven't even started my second project that I want as part of this video, which is like getting all my stuff off the needles before I start summer. I've already started summer. And in fact, one of my goals this weekend is to cast on another summer project. So I'm excited about summer. I'm still going to try to keep trekking on this one. Maybe I can get a little bit of knitting time in on this weekend. I'm going to try. I'll just keep this video going, I guess, because it's going to take me longer than I expect. But that's one of the things. I need to stay motivated to fix this because this project is so easy for me to put aside and forget about because it's just not like my favorite process knit, which is okay. I really actually do love the yarn and the finished item. It is cold and rainy here in Southern California today. It is raining. It is extremely late in the season for that. It is April 26th today. It is extremely late in the season for that. We actually are expecting snow in our mountains, which is insanity. It's insanity. So I just threw on this sweater actually because I was like, you know what? It's cold enough today to throw on the sweater. It is local yarn store day, so I was planning on riding my bike to the yarn store and the library today. Because it's Saturday and it's my first day off as a newly employed person. That was my treat, but it's raining, so I'm gonna have to drive. I'm really hoping that I have more progress from you sooner than 1 week from now, and I'm just going to have to keep that a goal of mine. The thing is, I have a lot of goals going on right now. Hello, everyone. Let's do a quick update on my Barbara Shawl. My bad. It's going really well. Oh my goodness, I'm in the middle of a row. I usually don't do that, of course, when I'm ready to film a little update. It's like that. So we're almost done. We're making a lot of progress. It's going really well. I added my third ball of yarn around here, which I think was about the last time I checked in with y'all. I was still a couple of rows from adding that in. So I've made quite a lot of progress. I'd say this is like 5.5 inches. I did have a really like open Sunday. We laid the floors at the back house. The back house is the house we're working on. We call it that because it's in the back of our other house. It's like a 2-on-1 lot. And I helped Mr. Cheek lay those floors, but while he was, I had a lot of downtime in between. And so I was doing a lot of knitting. A couple of days at work, I had a couple hours downtime. So I've been doing a lot of knitting on this, which I was really surprised because, like I said, I cast on a new project and that's kind of like taken over my world. And I swatched for another project. So I'm really excited about new projects, but I'm still finding time to work on this. And now since the rows are so short, it really is really easy for me to work on this. Like the reason I'm halfway between this row is because I went to get boba today and it, you know, there was a little bit of a wait to get it. Not enough to like really knit though, but because these rows are so short, I did one in this much row. So it's like I only had 5 minutes, but I was able to do a little bit. And that's just kind of how I've been doing progress on this. So I'm hoping to have this done by Friday. It's Tuesday. So if I can just sneak in a little bit of this every day, I'll show you how much yarn I have left. So not a ton, but we're getting there. I definitely am not worried that I'll run out. I think I'll have a little bit left over. I'm actually planning on filming another video right now, so I'm going to go do that and then hopefully check in with y'all. Hopefully by the time this is done, because I really don't have any other things. And then we can work on the next project. So I will check in with y'all later. Well, I finished it. It is done. Here it is. The shawl is completed. It is so damp. This is so damp still. I blocked it last night. I'm finished with it. I can't really, I mean, I can kind of show you what it looks like, but it's like pretty damp. I like the way that I can style it like kind of just like a bandana. I was right. It did turn out a kind of an awkward size. Like it's definitely too small for like a this number. Well, I don't know. Like a this number, you know, but I do like it like a bandana here. And then I've also tried to tie it like this way or wearing it like a hood. Gives me quite a bit of coverage there. Recap. Okay, so I had 3 skeins of 50 grams of this yarn that was a little bit pricey. And I remember thinking, oh, I should get more so I could make a bigger shawl. And I just didn't want to buy more. So I didn't. In hindsight, though, I probably should have just knit a cowl. Like that would have made more sense. But I literally didn't think about that until just this moment. So I hope that I can find some good wear out of this. I think if anything, I would just wear it like a bandana, like a, can you like cool it like slightly? Yeah. So my first old whip is done and we can be done with this for this vlog. In other news, our lives have kind of taken a little bit of a hit last week as our plumbing, it's like such a long story that I'm not going to tangent off into because it'll be very boring. But basically we found ourselves in a situation where Mr. Cheek is completely redoing the plumbing in our house, like redoing all of the plumbing, which we always knew would have to happen eventually because it's the original plumbing for this 1920 house. We knew it had to happen. I didn't realize it would happen at such a bad time. I mean, that's kind of how it always happens, right? It's been rough. So, I mean, we are fortunate we have a cabin like not too far from here, like 30 minutes here in the mountains. And so I think what we're going to do is take everything, our pets, and head up there for like a week or 2 while he works on it. We have been living in our house without water for like 3 or 4 days now. Been showering at my mom's house. I had to go block this with my neighbor's hose outside. Like the weirdest thing I've ever had to do was like go over and fill up a bucket for my neighbor's hose so I could block one of my knits, but I was like determined to block this. Yeah, so our lives are kind of, I mean, it's nothing that we can't deal with, but we are super fortunate that we have somewhere to stay. So we're lucky, but at the same time, it's like, it's going to be hard for us to continue working, to continue our lives while like not being in our home. And the cabin we own is very, very small and very limited. Like there's no washing machine there. It's just old and like, it's a little cabin. I am happy that we have it, so we will be staying there. Peaches is just camped out here. Anyways, let's talk about what's next for this video, which is finishing old whips. My third project is the Camisole No. 4 by My Favourite Things. And I started this last year. I don't know, enjoyed it, and then just threw it in the basket when it got too cold. And I was like, well, I'm not wearing this, you know, anytime soon. I'm trying to situate it so I can show it off here. So here is my Camisole No. 4. And as you can see, it's on try-on cables because I needed the cable for my Chowgu needles for something else, so I took it off. So I have the needles in here and the cable, so I just need to put it back together, put it back on there. And I think I'm done with everything, and now I'm just knitting in pattern in the round. So I think this should go by relatively quickly. So last week I felt like I had a really nice balance of projects to get me through the week, and I worked on like all 3 of them every day, and it never felt like I wanted to be working on one exclusively, because I've had that problem in the past where I'll have multiple whips and then I get like hyper focused on one. The 3 that I had last week was my Barbara Shawl, which served as like my go-to traveling. Like I took this to work, I took it with me on the go, I would knit it in the car. It wasn't the best for that. I would sometimes find myself making mistakes and having to fix them. It's not like a pair of socks or like a beanie. It was close. I then had my Ava cardigan, which is a new cast on, but isn't really that new anymore. I've gotten to the point of where I'm just knitting, not in the round, but like back and forth, not doing any shaping or increasing or decreasing or anything. So that's kind of my like, I get home and I don't want to think project, but I still want to knit, but I don't want to knit my like portable project. And then I have a newer cast on, which is much more thinking and having to be paying attention. And so between the 3, I was like really happy. And so when I cast this off yesterday, I was like, what am I going to cast on next? And then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm doing this video trying to finish my old whips. I have this one. So I think this one will become my portable, it'll replace the Barbara Shawl, the portable pattern, because it's broken rib. So every other row, I think I have a relief row and then I have a ribbing row. And I feel like that's fine. I think that'll be a great portable to go. And I really do want this finished project. So I'll be happy to work on this. I may be filming some of this later in the week at the cabin. I don't know. I don't really know what's going to happen, but I don't know. That's the plan. And I'm going to take this with me. It'll become one of the 3 current whips on my needles. I'm very tempted to cast on other things, but at the same time, I think I have plenty to work on, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, that's all I have for you today.
Okay, well, as you can see, I've made it up to my cabin. I forgot my microphone and my tripod at home, so I may have to scrap this, but hopefully you can hear me and all of the beautiful nature noises outside right now. Like the birds they're singing. So yeah, we're up at the cabin. I decided to just stay here today instead of driving down the hill to like pick up a job or something, because I was sick Tuesday and Monday. If you can't tell, I have a bit of a sore throat, but today is better than yesterday, so I'm assuming I'm going to be okay by tomorrow. And we did bring our cats up here for the first time yesterday, so I figured, you know what, I'm just going to stay home all day, all day today and let them adjust and like get comfortable. And honestly, like it's a really good excuse to stay home all day and knit, because I'm under the weather, I'm drinking my tea, I'm just gonna sit out here and enjoy the sunshine. There's very little of it today, but maybe watch a movie and do some knitting. So I have an update for y'all's. I did start my camisole number 4. So here is my camisole number 4. You know what? I'm going to put a progress keeper on this because I didn't before and I don't know how much I did, but I know I at least did like half an inch. I just got this from the Vista Fiber Festival, which was in Vista, California, which is like San Diego County. So it was a bit of a drive for me. It was a really, really small fiber fair, but they had alpacas and they had a sheep shearing and they had a whole barn dedicated to weaving. I didn't buy much just because I started this new job, but I don't get paid until June 9th is my first paycheck. I started in April. I will get a nice paycheck in June, but until then I don't have a lot of walking around cash. So I didn't get much, but I did get some stitch markers, and one of them was this. I'm gonna do the little influencer hand here. It's a naughty word. I bought it for when I pick up or I drop a stitch. In reality, I think I've only ever dropped a stitch like once in my life where I wasn't able to fix it. I don't know why I bought this, but I thought it was cute. So I'm gonna use this as a progress keeper, and it matches this perfectly. So I'm gonna do that so that we can see how much I get done today, because I want to check in later. So I brought 5 different projects with me for my cabin stay, which is, you know, I would say it's a good amount. Was it yesterday? I think so. I put this back on the needles and I started it. No, I think it was 2 days ago. I started this the day before yesterday, but I wasn't really like, it wasn't my main project. I was just putting in a row here and there. This is part of my clearing out my needles for summer and finishing old whips. So this is from last year, so I'd like to finish it. So I'd like to mostly work on this today. I don't know if that's possible. I really only have 2 other things I could work on if I need a break from this, which would be okay. That's where I'm going to be. I'm going to start working on this and I will share my progress either tonight or tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to attempt to film a little bit of an update here, but it is the evening and the sun is setting, so there's not a lot of light. There's not a lot of light in this cabin to begin with. It's very dark in here, but I have knit probably 2.5 inches. You can see my vulgar stitch marker there. And then I finished the ball of yarn that I was knitting with. So I decided, instead of continuing with the body, that I would knit the strap so that I could attach that and like more easily try on the body and like see how much more I need to go. So I think I'm getting pretty close to being able to Kitchener stitch the strap together, which in all honesty, I don't know how I'm going to do because it's knit and purl, but we're going to find out. I'm just going to stay in and knit and watch Bridgerton. I'm making spaghetti and ground beef for dinner. Joey should be home shortly. So, all right, bye. Okay, it is really sunny out here. It is the next day. I know I'm wearing the same shirt I was wearing yesterday, and I probably look the exact same. So let's catch you up on my camisole number 4. I finished the straps last night. So I've put my body back on the needles, and now I'm just knitting. This is my progress keeper from where I started yesterday. I started from here and then I did both straps. I think I'm going to knit another inch and then try it on and see how the length is. I don't know how much this grows. I also knit the straps probably 1/2 inch shorter than I would actually like it to sit because I figured it would block and it might stretch out. I mean, this is literally all I did yesterday. I feel like it's actually not that much for all I did yesterday. Like that's all I did. I made spaghetti. Hoping I can get this done this week. For sure I can. I'm like almost there, but also like blocking it and then maybe wearing it on Sunday would be really cool for Mother's Day. I'll keep you all updated. Let's see if I can finish this today. Probably not. Maybe. We'll see. It has been a couple of days since I last updated you on my camisole number 4 knitting. I think 2 days, and I'm still knitting it. I thought I would be done a lot faster. I wildly underestimated how much knitting I had left. I think because I knit the sleeves a bit shorter, and I was like thinking of another crop top I have that's a bit more like oversized, that looks like this length, but it has longer sleeves than this. So I thought that after the end of my little dangly progress keeper that I only had 1 inch of knitting. Well, you can see that I've done a bit more than that, and I tried it on and also compared it to like another top that's similar to this, and I need 3 more inches after this orange stitch marker. So I have quite a bit more knitting to do, and I was really hoping to have this done by this weekend so I could wear it on Sunday. So that's not going to happen. So my goal is to finish it this weekend though, because I have set today, Saturday, and tomorrow, Sunday, of just like passive knitting, and I'm going to bring this with me. So I think I can get it done by this weekend. But yeah, just totally thought that I was almost done and I wasn't. Hopefully the next time I film an update, I will be done with this. Okay, well,
It has been a wild ride filming this video. I feel like so much happened in the duration of doing this. Our plumbing went out, we moved up to the cabin, we put floors in our back house that we have been working on. We put countertops in there. So I don't know. I feel like this video took a month to film, and I have two finished objects to show for it. I first finished my Barbara shawl, and it is fully dry now. I haven't worn it yet. It is chilly up here, but it hasn't been. Probably in the morning I could pull off wearing this, like if we go for a walk. And I just wear it like a bandana, kind of just like a cowl, and it's really, really soft. It's really nice. And then my camisole number 4 is done. Is it inside out? Nope, it's right side out. And I actually wore this to the LA yarn crawl Thursday and Friday. It is now Saturday, and that is going all weekend, but I chose to go Thursday and Friday. And I wore this the first day on Thursday, got a lot of compliments on it. It is the perfect length, and I don't know how I pulled that off, but it's the perfect length, and the V-neck fits perfectly as well. This is by far my most favorite top I've ever knit. And I'm really excited for the rest of the summer knits that I'm making this year, because I'm kind of trying to make more fingering weight summer garments so that they're nice and light. And this is making me feel like I made a really good choice, because right now I'm knitting a lot of those things and they are taking forever to see progress because they're all fingering weight. But I know that it's going to be worth it, because I'm going to get so much wear out of this top. That's all I have for this week, and thank you so much for watching. If you stayed till the end, I applaud you, because it's been wild. If you want to subscribe, I have a couple of videos coming up. I'm about to film my knitting update and show you all brand new whips to the channel and the FOs that I finished last month. And then I'm also going to film a little LA yarn crawl haul, because I bought too much stuff and just kind of like talk about the experience of going to all these different stores over a weekend. Look out for that. And until next time, thank you so much, and bye.